You know that feeling when you scroll through a sea of gorgeous TV photos, each one promising cinema-level immersion, only to end up with a screen that looks flat, washed out, or just plain underwhelming once it's hanging on your wall? I've been there, and it's why I'm doing this deep dive so you can avoid the disappointment that so many buyers feel after the excitement wears off. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Today we're talking about Sony's 85-inch XR90 series, a mini LED TV that's being marketed as the next step up from the usual LED panels, complete with a 2-year amber protection plan that sounds nice on paper but needs real-world context. First off, let's talk about the kind of room this TV is built for. An 85-inch screen is a statement piece. It's not something you casually drop into a studio apartment or a bedroom that doubles as a home office. You need a dedicated viewing area where you can sit at least 8 to 10 feet back to let the picture breathe. In my own setup, I cleared a wall in a family room, mounted the TV on a sturdy bracket, and made sure the seating was arranged in a semicircle so everyone gets a decent angle. The size alone forces you to think about lighting. If you have large windows with direct sunlight, you'll notice that even the brightest mini LED panel can be dulled by glare. A simple blackout curtain or a dimmable overhead light solved that problem for me, and it's something potential buyers should factor into the overall cost. Now, what does mini LED actually bring to the table? In the marketing copy, it's all about brighter highlights and deeper blacks. When I streamed a HDR movie from Netflix, the bright explosions in a sci-fi battle scene genuinely popped, and the shadows held detail instead of turning into a vague mush. The contrast handling feels more like a projector's dynamic range than a typical LED. That said, the difference is most noticeable in content that's mastered for HDR. If your routine is watching standard definition TV shows or YouTube clips, you won't see a dramatic shift. Those sources simply don't carry the extra information. So the value of the mini LED technology is directly tied to how much HDR you actually consume. Processing power is another claim that Sony leans on heavily. The XR series uses Sony's cognitive processor XR, which is supposed to analyze each frame and adjust color, contrast, and motion in real time. In practice, I found that fast-moving sports, like a basketball game, stayed smooth without the soap opera effect you sometimes get on other brands that push frame interpolation too hard. The colors looked natural, not overly saturated, which is a subtle but important win if you care about accurate skin tones during a family movie night. However, the processing does add a tiny amount of input lag, maybe a few milliseconds, so hardcore competitive gamers might still prefer a TV that advertises sub-10 ms latency. For most console gamers, the lag is negligible, and the upscaling of older titles looks surprisingly crisp. The Google TV platform is where the day-to-day experience lives. Sony's integration means you get a clean interface that pulls in content from all your streaming apps, and voice search works through the remote or any connected Google Assistant device. I liked how the Continue Watching row automatically gathered shows from Netflix, Disney+, and Hulu without me having to open each app. One hiccup I ran into, though, was that the system sometimes took a few extra seconds to load a new app after a reboot. Nothing catastrophic, but it's a reminder that the smart platform isn't completely instantaneous. If you're already deep into the Google ecosystem, the TV feels like a natural extension. If you prefer Roku or Amazon Fire, you'll have to juggle a secondary device for your preferred interface. One of the quirks mentioned in the product bundle is the claim that the screen cleans without dripping. That sounds like a marketing tagline, but it translates to a practical benefit. The screen's coating resists smudges, and you can wipe it down with a dry microfiber cloth without worrying about liquid seeping into the panel. In my experience, a quick swipe after a night of popcorn and soda kept the picture clear, and there was no streaking. It's a small convenience, but for families with kids or pets, the reduced need for aggressive cleaning agents can extend the panel's lifespan. Now, let's weigh who should actually consider spending on this 85-inch mini LED beast. If you have a spacious living room, enjoy watching HDR movies, stream a lot of 4K content, and want a TV that handles both cinema and gaming without a noticeable compromise, this model checks a lot of boxes. The 2-year Amber Protection Plan also adds peace of mind for those who dread accidental damage, especially useful for households with active kids or pets. On the flip side, if you're living in a bright, sun-flooded space, you'll need to invest in proper window treatments just to see the panel's full potential. If your primary